48 teams. For the first time ever. More upsets, more first-timers, more countries that never imagined themselves on this stage, and almost every major football nation you'd expect to see. Well, except Italy. I ranked every single one of them, from the weakest team in the tournament all the way to the team I think wins the whole thing. For each team, I'll give you my prediction, their best player, and the names you need to watch out for. Some of these are obvious, and some will definitely start arguments. My name is Alex, this is Football Interest, and now, let's start the ranking from the bottom. Number 48. Haiti. Haiti have only been to one World Cup in their entire history, 1974 in Germany. They went out in the group stage, and that was it. That was the whole story. Over 50 years ago, this squad isn't going to change that narrative. My prediction, group stage exit. Their best player is Bellegarde, the attacking midfielder from Wolverhampton, genuinely talented, someone who can cause problems on his day. Watch out for Nazon up front, Isidore, and Jean-Jacques is in midfield. But honestly, Haiti are here to experience it. Number 47. Curaçao. This is their first World Cup, ever. A small island in the Caribbean with a population of around 150,000 people, and they're at the biggest football tournament on Earth. That alone is remarkable. Their best player is Juninho Bacuna, central midfielder at Volendam. Keep an eye on Chong, Gorey, and Castaneer. My prediction, group stage exit. But just being here is already the achievement. Number 46. Panama. Panama have been to one World Cup 2018 in Russia. Group stage exit. They were competitive though, and they showed the world they belong. This time around, my prediction is the same. Group stage. Their standout is Amir Murillo, right back at Besiktas, a solid, experienced player at this level. Fajardo, Carrasquilla, and goalkeeper Mejia are the ones to watch. Panama won't embarrass anyone, but getting out of the group will be a serious challenge. Number 45. New Zealand. The All Whites. They've been to two World Cups, 1982 and 2010, and both times group stage. Chris Wood is the name here. Nottingham Forest striker, Premier League experience, knows where the goal is. Joe Bell, Kakis, and Ben Old give them some quality in key areas. My prediction, out in the group stage. But Wood can score against anyone on a good day. Number 44. Jordan. First World Cup in their history. Jordan qualifying is one of the genuine stories of this cycle. A nation that has never been close to this stage suddenly finding themselves here. My prediction, group stage exit. Their best player is Yazan Al-Naimat, a forward with pace and movement. Moussa Al-Tamari at Rennes is the one with the most European pedigree. Al Arab and Ali Olwan complete a squad that will compete hard but face an enormous step up in quality. Number 43. Iraq. Iraq were at the 1986 World Cup in Mexico, their one and only appearance until now. Their best footballers. Ayman Hussein leads the line, and Mohamed Ali, Amir Al-Amari, and goalkeeper Jalal Hassan give them some solidity. My prediction, out in the group stage. Number 42. Uzbekistan. Another first-timer. Uzbekistan qualifying tells you something about how Central Asian football has developed over the last decade. The name everyone in European football knows is Abdukodir Kusanov, center back at Manchester City. That's not a small thing. Feyzulaev, Shomurodov, and Shukurov add quality in the final third. My prediction, out in the group stage too, but they're more dangerous than people think. Number 41. Qatar. Qatar hosted 2022 and became the first host nation in World Cup history to be eliminated in the group stage. It was brutal. Their best players. Akram Afif is genuinely good. Attacking midfielder at Al Sadd, African and Asian football fans know exactly what he can do. Edmilson Jr., Almoez Ali, and Baudiaf round out a squad with some experience now. My prediction, group stage exit again. Hosting gives you a platform. Qualifying on merit tests you differently. If you're enjoying this ranking so far, do me a favor, hit subscribe and leave a like. It really helps the channel and there's a lot more to get through. Number 40. Cape Verde. First World Cup. A small island nation off the west coast of Africa, and they're here. Logan Costa at Villarreal is their best player, a center back who has held his own in La Liga. Jamiro Monteiro, Daylon Livramento, and Ryan Mendes give them attacking options. My prediction, out in the group stage. But Cape Verde have been one of African football's most interesting stories for years, and this is a deserved moment for them. Now, Number 39. Australia. The Socceroos, and yes, I know they hate that name in some circles. Their best ever World Cup was 2006 in Germany, where they finished third in their group and pushed Italy to a controversial penalty in the round of 16. A genuinely brilliant campaign that doesn't get talked about enough. Well, their best players. Jackson Irvine is the heartbeat of this team, St. Pauli midfielder, leader, someone who makes everything work. Matt Ryan in goal, Aaron Kunda up front with pace to burn, and Jordan Bowes at left back. My prediction, group stage exit. The squad has quality, but the gap to the top teams in their region has closed, and getting out of the group won't be straightforward. Number 38. Saudi Arabia. In 1994, Saudi Arabia reached the round of 16. That's still their best World Cup performance. And then, 2022 happened. They beat Argentina in the group stage. One of the greatest upsets in World Cup history. Salem Al-Dawsari scoring that second goal, the entire country stopping. Al-Dawsari is still the man. Winger at Al Hilal, dangerous, experienced. Abdulhamid Kano and Al Baraikan support him. My prediction, out in the group stage. Number 37. South Korea. Their best World Cup run was in 2002. Co-hosts with Japan. Semifinals. One of the most extraordinary and controversial World Cup runs ever, beating Spain, Italy, and Portugal on the way. The whole country was delirious. Look at their best players. Heung-min Son is still here now at LAFC, still capable of producing something special. Lee Kang-in at PSG, Kim Min-jae at Bayern Munich, Hwang In-beom at Feyenoord. On paper, this is a decent squad. My prediction, group stage exit. Number 36. Iran. 6 World Cups, 6 group stage exits. Iran are the most experienced team in Asia in terms of World Cup appearances, and they have never made it past the first round. But there's something else worth mentioning here. The political tension between Iran and the United States could put them in the same group, and given the current state of relations between those two countries, that match would be one of the most charged fixtures in World Cup history. Football and geopolitics colliding in a way that goes way beyond the pitch. Well, their best players now. Mehdi Taremi leads the attack, now at Olympiacos. Jahanbakhsh, Azmoun, and goalkeeper Bayron Vand are the key figures. My prediction, group stage exit. But if that USA game happens, every football fan on the planet will be watching. That would be insane. Now number 35, South Africa. Bafana Bafana hosted 2010 and went out in the group stage, the first and only host nation to be eliminated at that stage before Qatar. Ronwen Williams is their best player, goalkeeper at Mamelodi Sundowns, one of the best in Africa. Percy Tau, Lyle Foster, and Mo Koena are their best players. My prediction, out in the group stage too. South Africa are competitive but not yet at the level to advance from a tough group. Number 34, DR Congo. They played in the 1974 World Cup as Zaire. Now they're back as DR Congo, and this squad is different. Yoane Wissa at Newcastle is a genuine Premier League quality forward. Bakambu, Mbemba, and Sadiki give them depth. My prediction, group stage exit too, but they're a team I'd watch closely. More talent here than the ranking suggests. Number 33. Tunisia. Tunisia came agonizingly close to the round of 16 in 2022. They beat France in the group stage but went out on goal difference. Their best players, well, Elais Skiri at Eintracht Frankfurt is their engine, one of the best defensive midfielders in the Bundesliga. Magebri, Ben Ramdhain, and Elias Sad add creativity. My prediction, group stage exit. Number 32, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia have only been to one World Cup, 2014 in Brazil. Group stage exit, but they were competitive. A squad built around Edin Dzeko, one of the most naturally gifted strikers of his generation. And Dzeko is still here. Now at Schalke, in the final chapter of a remarkable career, and he's still the name that makes this team tick. Demirovic at Stuttgart gives them a second attacking option with genuine quality. Bodrak Tarivic at PSV is young and exciting. Kolasinac at Atalanta, one of the most physical left backs in European football, brings experience at the back. Prediction, round of 32, possibly round of 16. Number 31, Canada. The first host nation here. Well, Canada's football history is complicated. They qualified for their first World Cup in 1986 and went home pointless. Then they didn't qualify again for 36 years. And then 2022 happened. Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, A golden generation that felt like it came out of nowhere. They went out in the group stage in Qatar, but the expectation now is different. This is a squad with real European quality across the board. Their best player is Davies at Bayern Munich, one of the best left backs on the planet. Jonathan David, now at Juventus, a good striker. Buchanan at Villarreal, Eustachio at LAFC are the other two solid players. My prediction, round of 32 or round of 16. Canada are no longer making up the numbers. Number 30, Algeria. Algeria's finest World Cup moment came in 2014 in Brazil. They pushed Germany to extra time in the round of 16 before losing 2-1. That match, in the Estadio Beira Rio in Porto Alegre, was one of the games of the tournament. A genuinely extraordinary performance from a team nobody expected to be that good. Riyad Mahrez is still the headline name, winger at Al Ahly Jeddah, one of the most talented players Algeria has ever produced. Ait Nouri at Manchester City is one of the best young left backs in the Premier League. Amora at Wolfsburg is electric. And Ibrahim Maza at RB Leipzig, only 19, already drawing comparisons to the very best. My prediction, round of 32 or round of 16. Algeria have more talent in this squad than people realize. Now, number 29, Egypt. Egypt have been to 3 World Cups, 1934, 1990, and 2018. They've never made it past the group stage. And then there's the elephant in the room, Mo Salah. One of the best players of his generation, Liverpool legend. He was at 2018, injured for the first game, came back, played 2 matches, scored twice, and it still wasn't enough to take Egypt through. 2026 might genuinely be his last chance to do it on the biggest stage. Omar Marmush at Manchester City gives them a second world-class attacking option. El Shaarawy in goal, Trezeguet in wide areas. My prediction, round of 32 or round of 16. Number 28, Paraguay. Paraguay's best World Cup performances came in 1986 and 2010, quarterfinals both times. Julio Enciso is their standout, an attacking midfielder at Strasbourg, creative and unpredictable. Gustavo Gomez at Palmeiras, one of the best center backs in South America. Diego Gomez at Brighton adds quality in midfield. Alderete at Sunderland completes a solid defensive unit. My prediction, round of 32 or round of 16. Paraguay are organized, competitive, and never easy to beat. Number 27, Czech Republic. If you count the Czechoslovakia era, this is a nation with genuine World Cup pedigree. Runners-up in 1934 and 1962. Well, Patrick Schick is their best player, center forward at Bayer Leverkusen, a player who scored one of the goals of Euro 2020 with that lob from the halfway line against Scotland. Tomáš Souček at West Ham brings energy and goals from midfield. Kufel at Hoffenheim and Schulk at Lyon round out a squad with real good quality. My prediction, round of 32 or round of 16. Schick in form makes them dangerous against anyone. Now, number 26, Ghana. The best Ghana's campaign, 2010. South Africa, quarterfinals. Luis Suarez and the handball on the line. Asamoah Gyan's penalty hitting the bar. One of the most devastating moments in African football history. And Ghana were minutes away from being the first African nation to reach a World Cup semi-final. And this squad is good. Mohamed Kudus at Tottenham is a great player. Antoine Semenyo at Manchester City brings pace and directness. Iñaki Williams at Athletic Bilbao, Thomas Partey at RB Leipzig, real quality throughout. My prediction, round of 32 or round of 16. Ghana have the talent. The question is whether they have the cohesion. Number 25, Ivory Coast. 3 World Cups appearances, 2006, 2010, 2014, 3 group stage exits. The generation of Drogba, Touré, Kalou never got the World Cup run their talent deserved. Well, this squad is younger and different. Amad Diallo at Manchester United is their best player, a winger with pace, creativity, and a big game mentality that's been proven at club level. Yan Diomande at RB Leipzig, Kessié at Al Ahly, and Ndicka at Roma give them genuine quality. My prediction, round of 32 or round of 16. Ivory Coast should be going further than they have historically. Whether they do is another question entirely. Next one, the number 24, Scotland. Scotland have a complicated relationship with the World Cup. They qualified 9 times and never made it past the group stage. Not once. Scott McTominay at Napoli is their best player, a central midfielder who has been absolutely exceptional in Italy. Robertson at Liverpool, McGinn at Aston Villa, Ferguson at Bologna, genuinely top-level players. And the manager has built something that feels different. My prediction, round of 16. I genuinely think this Scotland squad is good by their standards. People will say I'm wrong, but we'll see. Number 23. Mexico. Another host nation. Well, Mexico has a World Cup problem. The quarterfinal curse. They've reached the last 8 in 1970 and 1986, both times as hosts. But in every World Cup since 1994, they've been eliminated in the round of 16. Their best players? Well, Mexico doesn't really have that one superstar. But I think Alexis Vega leads this squad, a winger at Toluca with the kind of technical quality Mexican football consistently produces. Edson Alvarez at Fenerbahce is a great defensive midfielder and one of the leaders of the team. Fidalgo at Real Betis and Alvarado at Chivas are also two other solid players. Now, my prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Mexico is nowhere near one of its best generations, but they'll be playing at home. And maybe, with the fans behind them, they can make it to the round of 16 or maybe even the quarterfinals, who knows. Now, the main host nation, number 22, USA, my own country. Well, one of the hosts, alongside Canada and Mexico. The United States' best ever World Cup finish was third place in 1930, the very first World Cup when the tournament was a completely different beast. Since then, their best result was the quarterfinals in 2002. Our best players? Well, Christian Pulisic at Milan is the headline, of course, a winger who has found consistency and quality in Serie A after years of stop-start form. Malik Tillman at Bayer Leverkusen, Anthony Robinson at Fulham, Weston McKennie at Juventus. This is a squad with real European quality. My prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Playing at home changes things. The atmosphere will be extraordinary, and unlike Mexico, in my opinion, this is the best generation in United States history. So yeah, I'm confident the US can actually make it to the quarterfinals. We'll see. Now, number 21. Sweden. Sweden's greatest World Cup was 1958, runners-up, on home soil, losing to a 17-year-old Pelé and a Brazil side that was simply from another planet. That team is still celebrated in Swedish football culture today. Viktor Gyökeres is their best player, center forward at Arsenal, one of the most in-form strikers in Europe right now. Alexander Isak at Liverpool, Elanga at Newcastle, Ayari at Brighton. Real Premier League quality throughout the attack. My prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Gyökeres in this form is a genuine problem for any defense in the world. Number 20. Turkey. Their best campaign was in 2002, third place. That Turkish generation was electric and never quite got the credit it deserved. But this generation might be even more talented. Arda Güler at Real Madrid, one of the most gifted young players in world football, with the technical quality to be the best player at this tournament on his day. Çalhanoğlu at Inter, Kenan Yildiz at Juventus, Orkun Kökçü at Besiktas. My prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Turkey have the individual quality to go very deep. The question, as always with Turkey, is consistency. Next one. Number 19. Switzerland. Switzerland reached the quarterfinals in 1934, 38, and 54, and since then they've been consistent, organized, and somehow always surprising people by being better than expected. Switzerland's best players. Gregor Kobel in goal for Borussia Dortmund, one of the best in his position in Europe. Akşaka, now at Sunderland, is the heartbeat of everything they do. Akanji at Inter, Embolo at Rennes. This is a very solid spine. My prediction for them, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Switzerland will quietly go further than most people expect. Number 18. Ecuador. Ecuador's best World Cup was 2006, round of 16, knocked out by England. A solid tournament from a nation that has quietly become one of South America's most dependable qualifiers. Pacho at PSG is their standout, a center-back who has become one of the best in League One. Moises Caicedo at Chelsea, one of the most complete midfielders in the Premier League. Hincapié at Arsenal, Estupiñán at Milan. This is a very solid team. My prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Ecuador have one of the best defensive cores that could genuinely frustrate any team in this tournament. Next, number 17. Austria. Austria's golden era was the 1950s. Third place at the 1954 World Cup in Switzerland, with a team known as the Wonder Team. Marcel Sabitzer at Borussia Dortmund is their best player and attacking midfielder with the engine and quality to dominate games. Lamer at Bayern Munich, Baumgartner at Leipzig, and David Alaba at Real Madrid. When fit, still one of the best defenders in the world. My prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Austria are one of the most underrated teams in this entire tournament. I mean, just look at them. Number 16, Croatia. 2018, runners-up. 2022, third place. 2 consecutive deep runs built on one of the most remarkable midfields the World Cup has ever seen, Modric, Rakitic, Brozovic, Kovacic. A tiny nation of under 4 million people, consistently punching at the very highest level. And Luka Modric is still here. Now at Milan, 40 years old at the time of the tournament, and still, somehow, capable of controlling a football match in a way that makes you question everything you think you know about time and age. Gvardiol at Manchester City is one of the best left-backs in the world. Perisic at PSV brings experience and quality. Kramaric at Hoffenheim is a reliable goalscorer. Well, my prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Maybe semifinals again, but I think that'd be difficult. Croatia and the World Cup? A combination that somehow always works. You should never underestimate them in this tournament. Number 15, Colombia. 2014, quarterfinals. James Rodriguez winning the Golden Boot, scoring that volley against Uruguay that stopped the world for about 4 seconds. That tournament felt like the beginning of something enormous for Colombian football. And Luis Diaz at Bayern Munich is their best player now. A winger with pace, directness, and the ability to be unplayable on his day. Rames is still here, now at Minnesota, and still capable of moments of genuine magic. John Arias at Palmeiras, Richard Rios at Benfica, a squad with real quality at every level. My prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals. Colombia should be going deeper than their history suggests. This might finally be the tournament where they do. Number 14, Norway. Norway's best World Cup result was actually the quarterfinals in 1938. Since then, they've had 2 forgettable group stage appearances in the 90s and have been absent for decades. But this squad is built around the most physically dominant striker in world football right now. Erling Haaland at Manchester City, center forward, 6'4", scores goals at a rate that doesn't make logical sense. In qualifying, Norway were relentless. Odegaard at Arsenal gives them creativity in midfield at the highest level. Nusa at RB Leipzig is one of Europe's most exciting young wingers. Patrick Berg at Bodo/Glimt adds the defensive cover they need. My prediction, round of 16, possibly semifinals. If Haaland gets service and stays fit, Norway could genuinely shock people. A team built for knockout football. Next, number 13, Japan. Japan have reached the round of 16 4 times, 2002, 2010, 2018, 2022. 4 times, 4 exits at the same stage. This one has Ritsu Doan at Eintracht Frankfurt as the best player, a forward with genuine Bundesliga quality. Wataru Endo at Liverpool brings Premier League experience in midfield. Kubo at Real Sociedad is one of the most technically gifted wingers in this tournament. Maeda at Celtic gives them a relentless forward option. My prediction, round of 16 or quarterfinals, and possibly beyond. Japan are organized, dangerous, and not afraid of anyone anymore. Number 12, Morocco. Their best World Cup campaign came in 2022, when they finished 4th. The first African nation, and the first Arab nation, to ever reach the semifinals of a World Cup. Beating Spain on penalties, beating Portugal, only falling to France in the last 4. That team didn't just make history, they changed the entire conversation about African football. Hakimi at PSG is their best player, a right back who was arguably the best in the world in his position. Bonu at Al Hilal, Mazraoui at Manchester United, Brahim Diaz at Real Madrid, a squad with real Champions League level quality here. My prediction, quarterfinals or semifinals. Morocco are not a surprise story anymore. They're a genuine contender, and every team in this tournament knows it. The next team, number 11, Senegal. Their best campaign came in 2002 when they reached the quarterfinals. And of course, they beat France, the reigning world champions, in the opening game. One of the greatest upsets in World Cup history. That team and that tournament changed how the world saw African football. Well, Sadio Mane is their best player winger at Al Nassr, one of the most decorated African players of his generation. Koulibaly at Al Hilal gives them world-class defensive leadership. Edward Mendy, Pape Gueye at Villarreal, a squad with real depth and experience. My prediction: round of 16 or quarterfinals, possibly even semifinals. Senegal have the quality to go very deep. And remember, they're still the real Africa Cup champions, okay? Now the top 10. Uruguay. 2 World Cup titles. 1930 and 1950. One of the most traditional football nations in the world. Well, this squad is different from the Suarez and Cavani era, but it has its own identity. Federico Valverde at Real Madrid is their best player, a central midfielder with the engine, the range of passing, and the goals to be a decisive player at this tournament. Arrascaeta at Flamengo, Darwin Núñez, now at Al Hilal, and Nico de la Cruz at Flamengo give them real attacking options. This team is very competitive. My prediction: round of 16 or quarterfinals, possibly semifinals. Uruguay never go quietly. Ever. Number 9. Belgium. The golden generation that never delivered. Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, Romelu Lukaku, Thibaut Courtois, one of the most talented squads in world football for the better part of a decade, and their best result was 3rd place in 2018. Well, some of them are still here. Courtois in goal at Real Madrid and still the best goalkeeper in the world. De Bruyne at Napoli, now 34, still capable of controlling a game. Lukaku, also at Napoli. Doku at Manchester City, bringing electric pace wide. My prediction: round of 16 or quarterfinals, possibly semifinals. This is genuinely the last ride for a generation. Whether they can finally deliver is the question Belgian football has been asking for 10 years. Next, number 8. Netherlands. 3 World Cup finals, 1974, 78, and 2010. 3 runners-up finishes. The Netherlands are arguably the most successful nation never to have won the World Cup. Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool is their captain and their spine, one of the best center-backs of his generation. Frenkie de Jong at Barcelona, Gravenberch at Liverpool, Gakpo, also at Liverpool. A squad with genuine Premier League and Champions League quality throughout. My prediction: quarterfinals or semifinals. The Netherlands have the squad to go all the way. Whether the mental weight of always being nearly there catches up with them again is the real question. And now we're into the top 7, the favorites. The teams that should, on paper, be fighting for the trophy. Number 7. Germany. 4 World Cup titles. 1954, 74, 90, 2014. The most decorated nation in World Cup history alongside Brazil. And 2022 was genuinely humiliating group stage exit on home soil in 2018, then group stage again in Qatar. 2 consecutive disasters for a nation built on tournament football. This squad feels like a response to all of that. Joshua Kimmich at Bayern, the best player in this squad, a midfielder who can control a game completely. Musiala at Bayern, Wirtz at Liverpool, 2 of the most exciting young attacking players in the world. Schlotterbeck at Dortmund gives them defensive solidity. My prediction: quarterfinals, semifinals, or final. That's a dangerous team, and I feel like the media has been underestimating them way too much. You should never underestimate the Germans when the World Cup comes around. Next. Number 6. Brazil. 5 World Cup titles, the most of any nation. 1958, 62, 70, 94, 2002. And yet, 2022 ended in heartbreak again. Quarter-final exit on penalties to Croatia. Neymar in tears on the pitch. A nation that measures itself only by winning the World Cup and hasn't done it in 24 years. Rafinha at Barcelona is their best player now, a winger with the quality and consistency to be decisive at the highest level. Vinicius Jr. at Real Madrid, Alisson at Liverpool, Casemiro at Manchester United, and they'll have Neymar too. Real Champions League level throughout the squad. My prediction: quarterfinals, semifinals, or final. Brazil are always the story. They carry the weight of expectation like no other nation on earth, and that weight can be both fuel and burden. Number 5. Argentina. 3 World Cup titles, 1978, 86, and 2022. The 2022 triumph in Qatar was one of the great sporting stories of the century. Messi finally lifting the trophy, the final against France, 4-3 on penalties after it finished 3-3. One of the greatest matches ever played. Lionel Messi is here, 38 years old at the time of the tournament, at Inter Miami, and he will almost certainly be at his last World Cup. The question isn't whether he's the best player who ever lived. Most people have already answered that. The question is whether he has one more miracle left. Julian Alvarez at Atletico de Madrid, Mac Allister at Liverpool, Enzo Fernandez at Chelsea. A squad with genuine world-class quality around a legend. Prediction: quarterfinals, semifinals, or final. Argentina are the defending champions. They don't surrender that lightly. Number 4, England. 1966. That's the last time England won anything. One World Cup title on home soil 59 years ago. Harry Kane at Bayern Munich, the best English striker of his generation, England's all-time top scorer, and now, for me, the best player in the world. Bellingham at Real Madrid, Rice at Arsenal, Bukayo Saka at Arsenal. A squad that genuinely has the quality to win this tournament. Now, my prediction for England, semifinals at minimum. They're one of the real contenders for the title. England have been close before. 2021, the Euro final at Wembley lost on penalties to Italy. 2018, the semifinals in Russia. But this squad is much better now, even with Tuchel leaving Cole Palmer and Alexander-Arnold out. The number 3, Spain. 2010, the only time Spain won the World Cup, and they did it in style. One of the most dominant football nations in history, but only one World Cup title to show for it. Lamine Yamal at Barcelona is their best player, 18 years old. Already one of the best wingers in the world. Pedri at Barcelona, Rodri at Manchester City, one of the best midfielder in the world. Nico Williams at Athletic Bilbao alongside Yamal makes Spain's wide areas genuinely unplayable on their day. My prediction: semifinals at minimum. Spain play a style of football that can dismantle any team in the world, and they have the youngest superstar in this entire tournament. Now, number 2, Portugal. Portugal's best World Cup result is still 1966. Third place, Eusebio finishing as the tournament's top scorer. That was 60 years ago. Everything since has been near misses and exits that sting, and Cristiano Ronaldo still here. 41 years old. This will genuinely be his last World Cup. The greatest goalscorer in football history, with a World Cup title-shaped hole in his legacy. Vitinha at PSG is the engine now. Bruno Fernandes at United brings creativity. Rafael Leão at Milan gives them pace and directness wide. All the squad is really good. Maybe the best Portugal generation ever because they have world-class players in all the positions. My prediction: semifinals at minimum. A squad with stars in every position and with Cristiano Ronaldo as the striker, giving everything he has for this trophy. Honestly, Portugal are a very serious contender for the title. Finally, number 1, France. 2 World Cup titles, 1998 and 2018, and they came within a penalty kick of a third in 2022. Mbappe's hat-trick in the final, losing 4-2 on penalties to Argentina in the most extraordinary final of the modern era. France are the most talented squad in this tournament. Michael Olise at Bayern Munich, their best player, a winger with technical quality, creativity, and the composure to perform on the biggest stage. Mbappe, Ousmane Dembélé, Saliba, a squad that could field 2 competitive international teams. So that's my prediction. On North American soil, with a squad this deep and this talented, my prediction is France go all the way. Number 1. The team I think is the favorite to win the 2026 World Cup, and that's my ranking. Do you agree with me, or do you see it completely differently? Especially the top 4, France, Portugal, Spain, England. Do you think I got that order right, or am I completely off? Drop your take in the comments. I read everything. And if this one hit, share it with 5 mates who'd argue about it. There's another video on the channel that goes even deeper into the 2026 World Cup. You won't want to miss it.